Most companies don't crash and burn because of bad ideas or a lack of talent. They fail because good people make truly terrible decisions, not always out of malice. More often, it's pressure, the kind that warps your judgment until cutting corners feels like the smart move, until silence seems safer than speaking up. And the price? Not just a company's reputation, but careers, livelihoods, and trust that might never be rebuilt. This is the reality we've been grappling with in BUS 3306, Business and Society.
And welcome back, Daniel, to everyone joining us for Part 5 of Unit 8, and indeed our final lecture in the BUS 3306 series. We're really bringing everything together today. If you've been with us since Unit 1, thank you for staying on this journey. We hope these discussions have made the course not just clearer, but more engaging.
Absolutely, Isabella. When we started this course, we asked a simple question: what is the relationship between business and society? And on the surface, it seemed straightforward, right? Businesses make stuff, society buys it, end of story.
Exactly. But over these past 8 units, we've peeled back so many layers, revealing a relationship far more intricate than that initial simplistic view. It's truly a two-way street. Businesses influence society in profound ways, and society, in turn, shapes businesses.
And the ripple effect of every single organizational decision. That's what really struck me. It reaches far beyond the company walls, touching individuals, communities, and even the environment. It's a complex web.
It is, and a great place to start our recap is right back at Unit 1, where we dove into the relationship between businesses and their stakeholders. We learned pretty quickly that organizations aren't just about maximizing profits for shareholders, are they?
No, not at all. That was a big takeaway. The responsibilities extend to employees, customers, suppliers, governments, communities, and of course the environment. It painted a much broader picture of corporate accountability than many might initially expect.
And that lesson was crucial. Successful organizations, as we discussed, are those that proactively understand stakeholder expectations, engage with them, and build trust through responsible decision-making. It's about genuine interaction, not just lip service.
So, Isabella, what this really changes is the fundamental definition of business success. It's no longer just a balance sheet, but a broader ecological and social footprint.
Precisely, Daniel. It's a paradigm shift from a singular focus to a more holistic view. When you consider all these interconnected groups, the notion of success becomes far richer and more complex than mere financial metrics. It's about creating shared value.
Right. Moving on from stakeholders, we then got into corporate social responsibility, or CSR, and initially, I think a lot of people might dismiss it as purely a PR exercise, something companies do just to look good.
That's a common initial reaction, Daniel. But as we explored in that unit, genuine CSR goes much, much deeper than just image. It's not about superficial gestures or greenwashing. It's about fundamental operational and strategic choices.
So true CSR, then, means more than just a donation here or a volunteer day there. It's about ingrained practices.
Absolutely. It's about responsible organizations genuinely investing in their employees, offering fair wages and good working conditions, providing opportunities for growth. It's about supporting local communities through substantive engagement, not just writing a check.
And protecting the environment, treating suppliers fairly, these are often costly endeavors in the short term. What's the incentive for a company to go beyond the bare minimum if the primary goal is profit?
That's the core tension, isn't it? The incentive lies in creating value that extends far beyond immediate financial returns. Companies that embed CSR deeply into their operations often see benefits like enhanced reputation, increased customer loyalty, better talent attraction and retention, and even reduced operational risks in the long run. It builds resilience.
But isn't it tempting for some companies to just do the bare minimum, to just appear responsible, especially if the genuine commitment is expensive? There's a cynicism often associated with corporate good deeds, and it feels justified sometimes.
That cynicism is valid, Daniel, because greenwashing and social washing are real phenomena. Companies that engage in performative CSR without authentic commitment ultimately undermine trust, and that can backfire significantly. Consumers and employees are savvier than ever before. They can see through inauthenticity. The market eventually punishes those who just pretend.
So the key differentiator then is authenticity and integration into the core business model rather than just an add-on.
Precisely. It's about whether the values underpinning CSR are truly woven into the organizational fabric and reflected in every decision, rather than being a separate, optional department.
That's a great distinction to make. It moves CSR from a marketing tactic to a strategic imperative. So, to sum up, Isabella, the shift we're talking about with CSR is really from a performative act to a deep, integrated commitment. It's not about looking good, it's about being good, which then organically leads to looking good, but as a byproduct.
Exactly, Daniel. And it's that deep integration that then leads us seamlessly into our next major topic, sustainability. The question we posed then was, can businesses truly remain profitable while simultaneously protecting future generations?
And the answer, according to our readings, was a resounding yes, but with a crucial caveat. Only when organizations manage to balance economic success with environmental responsibility and social well-being. It's a triple bottom line, effectively.
That's right. Sustainability isn't just about reducing your carbon footprint, though that's certainly a part of it. It's about building a business model that is viable long-term, considering resource scarcity, social equity, and economic resilience. It's about thinking generations ahead.
But is it truly viable for all businesses? I can see how large corporations with deep pockets can invest in renewable energy or sustainable supply chains, but for smaller businesses with tighter margins, doesn't sustainability often feel like an unaffordable luxury, or at best, an added cost that puts them at a disadvantage?
That's a very fair point, Daniel, and it's a tension many smaller enterprises face. However, what we're seeing is that sustainability is rapidly becoming less of an option and more of a market expectation. Customers expect it, investors increasingly demand it, and governments are implementing regulations that encourage or even mandate it.
So it's shifting from nice to have to must have?
Precisely. And for smaller businesses, there are often innovative ways to approach it. It might be about optimizing processes to reduce waste, sourcing locally to cut down on transportation emissions, or even collaborating with other small businesses to share the costs of sustainable initiatives. It's not always about grand, expensive overhauls. Sometimes it's about smart, incremental changes that also improve efficiency and cost savings in the long run.
I suppose ignoring sustainability, regardless of size, could also mean facing greater risks down the line, reputational damage, regulatory fines, or even supply chain disruptions due to climate change, for example.
Exactly. The risks of inaction are growing exponentially. Companies that ignore sustainability today are essentially building on an increasingly unstable foundation. It's not just an ethical choice, it's becoming a fundamental aspect of risk management and long-term business strategy. The market, in many ways, is forcing this hand.
That makes a lot of sense. It sounds like sustainability isn't just about doing good, it's about future-proofing your business. From sustainability, we then transitioned into diversity and inclusion. And this was a topic I really enjoyed because it challenged a common misunderstanding.
It did. The common misconception is that diversity is just about hiring people from different backgrounds, checking boxes, if you will. But we learned that true diversity, the kind that actually creates value, only flourishes when people feel genuinely included.
Right, it's not enough to have diverse faces if those diverse voices aren't heard or valued. Inclusion is the crucial element that unlocks the potential of diversity.
Absolutely. When employees know their opinions matter, when they feel safe to contribute their unique perspectives, they bring more to the table. This leads to a richer exchange of ideas, which in turn fuels innovation.
So it's not just about fairness, it's a strategic advantage. Better decision-making, being better prepared to serve diverse markets, understanding different customer needs.
Precisely. An organization that mirrors the diversity of its customer base and society at large is simply better equipped to understand and respond to the market. It's about relevance and competitive edge in a globalized world. It's about leveraging the full human capital available.
So, Isabella, if we zoom out for a moment, it seems like the common thread here is moving beyond surface-level adherence to fundamental cultural change. Whether it's CSR, sustainability, or D&I, It's about internalizing these values rather than just applying them externally.
You've hit on a critical point, Daniel. It's a profound shift from merely complying with external pressures or societal expectations to genuinely transforming the internal culture and operational philosophy. That's where the real, lasting impact happens.
And speaking of measuring that lasting impact, that brought us to the balanced scorecard. This was a really powerful concept because it reminded us that not everything valuable can be measured solely in dollars and cents.
Indeed, the balanced scorecard offers a more comprehensive way to assess organizational performance, moving beyond just financial metrics. It includes measures for customer satisfaction, employee engagement, learning and growth, innovation, and even inclusion.
Which ties directly back to our discussions on stakeholders and diversity. If you only look at profit, you miss crucial indicators of long-term health and success.
Absolutely. A company could be showing strong financial performance in the short term, but if employee engagement is plummeting, customer satisfaction is low, and innovation has stalled, that financial success is likely unsustainable. The balanced scorecard helps illuminate these leading indicators.
It feels like a more honest way to evaluate an organization's true health. It pushes leaders to look beyond the immediate P&L statement.
It forces a more strategic, long-term perspective. It encourages leaders to invest in areas that might not show an immediate financial return, but are critical for future growth and resilience. For instance, investing in employee training or R&D might impact short-term profit, but the scorecard highlights their value for long-term capability.
So it's a tool that actively encourages the kind of integrated thinking we've been discussing throughout the course, looking at the interconnectedness of various elements of business.
Precisely. It connects the dots between a company's vision and its operational activities, ensuring that all parts of the organization are pulling in the same direction towards a broader definition of success. And this leads us to the final, unifying theme, ethics.
Yes, ethics. In many ways, Isabella, this feels like the foundational principle tying every single topic we've discussed together. It's not just another unit. It's the thread that runs through everything.
It truly is. Think about it. Can an organization genuinely practice meaningful corporate social responsibility without a strong ethical foundation? Probably not. It becomes performative, as we discussed.
And can leaders genuinely value diversity and inclusion if they lack ethical integrity? No. If they're not committed to fairness and respect, then D&I initiatives are just hollow policies.
Exactly. And sustainability. How can sustainability exist if organizations ignore honesty, transparency, and accountability in their environmental and social reporting? Again, it can't. Ethics is the glue that holds all these concepts together, transforming them from abstract ideas into actionable, impactful realities.
It influences everything then: leadership, organizational culture, corporate governance, stakeholder relationships, and ultimately, a company's ability to achieve sustained success.
It's the bedrock. Without it, all the other initiatives, no matter how well-intentioned, risk crumbling. It determines the integrity with which a company operates and interacts with the world.
So, at the core of all these concepts we've touched on throughout the course, Isabella, ethics isn't just one topic among many, but the foundational principle for all of them. It's the why behind the what.
That's a perfect way to put it, Daniel. It provides the moral compass, guiding decisions and actions across every dimension of business and society interactions. It's about intent as much as outcome.
One lesson from this unit that truly resonated with me is how most organizations don't fail because their employees lack intelligence. Many failures happen because good people make poor decisions under immense pressure.
That's a crucial insight. It's rarely outright malice. More often, it's a series of small compromises, driven by the intense pressure to meet short-term targets or to maintain a certain image. Sometimes it's chasing those immediate profits without considering the long-term consequences.
Or ignoring warning signs, or remaining silent when they absolutely should speak up. It highlights the vulnerability of even well-intentioned individuals within complex organizational structures.
And that's precisely why ethical leadership matters so profoundly. Ethical leaders cultivate environments where employees feel safe to ask difficult questions, to report concerns without fear of retaliation, to challenge questionable decisions, and even to admit mistakes.
That sounds almost utopian in some highly competitive environments. Is it truly realistic to expect employees to challenge decisions, especially from higher-ups, without fearing for their career progression or even their job?
That's a very valid challenge, Daniel, and it speaks to the immense difficulty of building such a culture. It doesn't happen overnight, and it requires sustained, visible commitment from the very top. It's about trust, fundamentally. When leaders model ethical behavior, when they genuinely listen to dissent, and when they protect whistleblowers, they build that trust. It's a long game, not a short sprint. But the alternative, a culture of fear and silence, often leads to catastrophic failures.
So these workplaces become stronger, not just because they avoid scandals, but because people trust one another. It's a strength derived from internal integrity.
Exactly. Trust reduces internal friction, encourages collaboration, and fosters a sense of psychological safety that is essential for innovation and problem solving. It builds a more resilient and adaptable organization.
Another important lesson linked to this is that ethics isn't truly tested when decisions are easy. It's tested when doing the right thing becomes expensive. This really struck a chord with me.
It's where the rubber meets the road, isn't it? It's easy to be ethical when it costs you nothing. The real challenge and the true measure of ethical commitment comes when there's a significant financial or reputational price tag attached to doing what's right.
Imagine losing a major customer because you refused to pay a bribe, even if it meant securing a lucrative contract, or delaying a product launch for months because additional safety testing was necessary, costing millions in lost revenue.
Or even reporting inaccurate financial information, even though it could temporarily reduce investor confidence or cause a dip in stock price. These are incredibly difficult decisions, made under immense pressure, and they require a profound commitment to integrity.
They truly are. But the argument made is that these difficult choices often protect organizations from much larger problems in the future. The short-term pain prevents long-term disaster.
Absolutely. That bribe might secure a contract today, but it opens the door to future corruption, legal issues, and irreversible reputational damage. Delaying a product for safety prevents potential lawsuits, recalls, and consumer distrust that could cripple the company. The ethical choice, while expensive in the moment, is often the most prudent strategic decision in the long run.
So, business success should never be measured only by today's profits. It should also be measured by whether the organization can continue earning trust tomorrow, next year, and 10 years from now. That's a fundamentally different way of looking at it.
It reframes success from a transactional, short-term gain to a relational, long-term legacy. Trust is the ultimate currency, and it's earned through consistent ethical behavior, especially when it's hard.
Throughout this course, we've used examples from so many different industries, countries, and organizations. But despite all those differences, one message has remained consistent for me.
And what was that, Daniel?
That organizations truly succeed when they create value for people, not just products, not just profits, but people, employees who feel respected, customers who feel valued, communities that genuinely benefit from their presence.
And investors who trust their leadership, suppliers who receive fair treatment, and future generations who inherit a healthier society because businesses acted responsibly. It's a very human-centric view of business, ultimately.
As future business professionals, managers, entrepreneurs, consultants, supervisors, or organizational leaders, we will all eventually face decisions that no textbook can explicitly answer. There won't always be a perfect solution, and that's the scary part.
Indeed, sometimes you'll have to balance competing stakeholder interests, make unpopular decisions, or choose between intense short-term pressure and long-term integrity. Those moments define you as a leader.
And when those moments come, I hope everyone remembers something we discussed in Part 3. Don't simply ask, "Can I do this?" Also ask, "Should I do this?" That single question, Isabella, has the power to change organizations, careers, and even lives.
It's a powerful moral filter. It forces a pause, a moment of reflection to consider the broader implications beyond immediate legality or profitability. It's about aligning actions with values.
Before we conclude, I'd like to leave everyone with one final reflection. Success is not measured only by the position you hold, the salary you earn, or the size of the organization you lead.
No, it's far deeper than that. Real success in the context of business and society is measured by the trust people place in you. Because trust, as we've seen throughout this entire course, takes years to build, only moments to lose, and sometimes a lifetime to rebuild.
If you lead with integrity, treat people fairly, truly listen before making decisions, remain accountable for your actions, and never compromise your values for temporary gain, you'll not only become a better manager.
You'll become the kind of leader people genuinely want to follow. And in today's complex business world, Daniel, that may be one of the greatest competitive advantages anyone can possibly have.
That brings us to the very end of BUS 3306, Business and Society. On behalf of both of us, Isabella, thank you for joining us throughout this lecture series.
It's been a privilege. We truly hope these lessons have helped you understand not only this course material, but also the immense responsibilities and exciting opportunities that come with working in business.
Remember, learning doesn't stop when a course ends. Keep asking questions, keep developing your skills, and keep looking for ways to make a positive difference wherever your career takes you. For those who found these lectures helpful, we truly appreciate your support. Please consider subscribing to the channel, giving this video a like, and sharing it with anyone who might benefit from it. Your support encourages us to continue creating free, high-quality content.
If there's another business course or topic you'd like us to cover, please let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear your suggestions and continue learning together. Thank you once again for your support and for learning with us.
Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, lead with integrity, and never stop striving to make a positive impact. Take care, and we'll see you in our next lecture series.